So what's up, guys? My name is Nightliken720, or you could call me Daniel, whichever. I am going to talk about Logan. I meant to post this earlier, but I was waiting on the new computer, so my apologies. I would highly recommend seeing it during this weekend, because Logan, I would say, was probably Hugh Jackman's finest performance. Um, what I liked about it was because it was R-rated, it made Hugh Jackman's character stick out like Wolverine should. Uh, Being that graphics were on point, like uh, I would say, like the CGI and everything that was involved made it almost like I was seeing like a comic strip, like you were like there in a way. Like it just made it feel absolutely like realistic. Uh, I would say that with the graphics too, the mutants' powers were, I would say, on point too. Uh, Hugh's performance, being that it's his last performance, he was hoping for an R-rated system, and when he got it, I think that made everything gold. Because like so far, like I know it's been killing it in the box office. So you know, I just like you imagine Hugh Jackman and he's supposedly like a good guy like for his fans, like you know along with like other people like Chris Pratt and stuff. But like when he steps into Wolverine, he's like completely different, almost like it's like his second identity. He's been playing it for so long. It's like you figure like like he gets used to it, like how he was in 2000. He was like probably nothing compared to now. Like he got so used to it that like that is his life. His second identity is Wolverine. So he's like got a multiple like personality problem going on. But seriously though, like it saddens me that he's not going to be around anymore. Even though like Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool has been trying, and I mean trying, to get him to do Deadpool. Um, there's a lot of back and forth, and there's a lot of rumors like Ryan Reynolds like being outside of his like house or something, camping, waiting for him to say yes to it. Um, Hugh Jackman said like that he would have stayed as Wolverine if he was part of the Avengers. I think that falls under like a different like studio, and I think that's why like it's difficult to like acquire him, because maybe like you think Wolverine, I think it's like Fox, and I think whoever does the Avengers um, is like a different company. Like kind of like the same issues you had with Spider-Man, where like Sony had the rights for Spider-Man, and the Avenger crew was trying to get a hold of him. I think they did some deal with Sony to acquire the rights for him, or something like that. Um, so I would say like his last performance, hopefully not, but you never know, is definitely 5 star. And as far as the storyline goes, the storyline was excellent. The fact that he had a daughter. I mean, like he didn't literally make it, kinda. He just like he just like basically like somehow they acquired his DNA to make her. This is a future of 2029, and apparently there's no mutants been born since then, and like for years or something like that. And the interesting fact is, this little girl came from a facility in Mexico where I guess it was some government officials were making mutants for their own, for the purpose of like military. Of course, there was a project that suddenly, like, the children became obsolete. Like, they were trying to kill these kids. And this woman freed a whole bunch of them. So that was good on her part. She sadly passed away in the beginning. So, in the future, with no mutants, there's a lot of them that died. Uh, like, basically all of them. So, what happens there is you only see Xavier and you see Wolverine, and I forget the albino guy's name, but he's there too. Apparently, he has a dark past. Um, and Xavier supposedly did something in his past that might have killed off all the mutants. It wasn't his fault. Just I guess something to do with his health. That's all I can really tell you about. Logan has been trying to give him medicine to compensate for that. Um, but Patrick Stewart is Xavier, and if you know him, he does voiceovers on American Dad. And the funniest things that he records on that show, he implemented basically on this movie on this scale, and the whole time it's just funny. He just acts like a senile old man, which I would say that was funny of him. Like Patrick Stewart is a funny guy. He can be serious at one movie, or he can be just a funny guy in the next one, or in between, depending on what he plays as. I would say that in his daughter, like he like starts to develop a bond with the daughter throughout the whole movie. I like that storyline. Like you would think Wolverine, like he's like I do shit on my own kind of guy, and like he's like slowly opening up to this little girl that even though like he didn't literally create her, she was just made in a lab by his DNA. She's almost like family to him. So like for her, it was like um, interesting. It was she didn't speak at all at first. Then it was Spanish, and then you heard her speak English towards the end. Um, you know, it's kind of interesting how that worked. Another thing that you notice about her is that she does have claws like right here, but they made a joke reference to like animals, like how the females have like defensive claws in the back of their legs, and she had uh, like two daggers from each, like one dagger on her left and right foot. And basically, it was just like whenever she couldn't use these, she went to her legs and she stabbed people with them. And that was like badass for her. Like I love the casting choice on her because like she played it really well. The only other thing I gotta review for this too is the fact that there was another Wolverine. You're probably thinking like, well, what do you mean? Well, there was Old Man Logan. He was Wolverine. The experiment that almost cost the kids their lives were basically the ones that like were replaced by a younger Hugh Jackman, which this guy was just basically a mindless drone that was dangerous. Like he was as aggressive as Wolverine, but he didn't have free will or anything. His handler would just like tell him like calm down, and it was one of those like what the hell moments because like there's a scene in the movie that like totally scared me because like he came out of nowhere. Like he looked like him at first, but then he does something that like you will be like, oh my god. If you're an X-Men fan, you would be like that. Like it's that moment where you're just like, what the heck? And and Hugh Jackman, Old Man Logan, fights him from that point towards the end of the movie. So that was like the major villain. It was almost like versing his younger self as an like as like a young evil version of him and the good old man Logan. It was like good versus evil, and good prevailed, but with a cost. So with that being said, it had a solid ending. I'm not going to share to you what happens in the end. You'll just have to see that for yourself. All I can say is that you just need to see it. And this movie right now is killing it. It's definitely 5-star in my mind. This has been Nightlight in 720. Please subscribe. I also have Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. All right, take care.